On the technology side, you notice here the web notice boards, which is originally from the art area, but the web notice boards are extending the idea of notice boards, putting them on the web, advertising and e-commerce supported. There's a lot of artists here I know that they could do with proactive marketing across the internet, and being artists, they can pre-sell, they can do 3D imaging of it, they can sell software which creates their art anywhere in the world if they've got a 3D printer. So there's all kinds of possibilities leveraging the internet from the art perspective. The 3D printing, of course, also extends to really more mundane things like tanks for backfilling for water into houses. The older houses, which we don't want to see ruined, we don't want to see big green things in the front lawn. Well, there's no reason why you couldn't measure up the gaps between the walls in a house, create a tank on a 3D printer to exact measurements and put it in there using the pipe company across in the economic zone. So there's all these sort of combinations start falling out of it once you start thinking about it. The other thing about the technology is strategically, even though we're getting NBN and it should be here by the middle of next year, we are going to have to upgrade, and we have to pay for that, or in some places there are grants, but we have to pay for that. And there's two obvious things which as we move forward. One is the economic zone. Unless we have some serious bandwidth going into that space, it's very unlikely we're going to pull anybody except people who like a bit of dirt. Getting another Garvin might be rather difficult if you can't get the bandwidth. We've already got people there who've moved their call centre back into Sydney because the bandwidth wasn't enough for that particular zone. So that's something which we could do. That's one area which needs targeted high bandwidth. The second one is probably one of the last one we'll talk about here, which is the innovation space, Innovation Centre. There's a lot of potential going on in that area. The schools are doing well with their broadband, and we could probably, because of the nature of it, leverage the ARNet without too much trouble. So that might be something else for the technology space. The other thing, the beauty of where we are is that our friends down the hill, or our friends in the room actually, University of Wollongong, have got an expert series of things going on in terms of 3D printing. So if we want help with 3D printing, it's just down the hill, it's a phone call away. We've got access to some of the world's best in that area on our doorstep.